All right, let's officially roll. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our weekly voice chat. I was gonna say VC for our DAO. I typically run these earlier in the day. Today just got a bit busy for myself. We recently got snowstorm, so just trying to figure out a couple of things around that and logistics. Had a awesome spaces with Chill Chat earlier, kind of AMA for them. So shout out to Chill Chat. Uh, and there actually was the great poker tournament as well. I think I placed 88th. I did absolutely awful. Just got completely destroyed. And fortunately, Max from our Foxes was at my table to watch me get wrecked. Um, but yeah, having said all that, if you are watching this from YouTube, if this is your first time for Foxes, welcome. Feel free to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel, increases our awareness to the general community. Looking forward to kind of building that up a bit more. I know right now it primarily just has our weekly VCs, which I think are quite helpful for some folks, especially for newer folks getting into the space. I know it's probably not the most streamlined information for onboarding folks. So I'm looking forward to kind of creating some more content around that. Most likely on my personal channel, maybe some stuff specific for Foxes on our Fox channel. But yeah, certainly appreciate it. To kind of kick us off, I think the first thing I want to highlight, I mentioned it in Chill Chat as well, was that we did our first collaboration. Well, I guess technically we've had kind of a couple of Foxes that have gone off for auction from Foxy, but we were approached by the DGen DAO. They were interested in getting a Fox that had DGen ape like characteristics, and they thought they were thinking that we could do it for a Solana auction, and do it from the proceeds to go 1/3 to our DAO, 1/3 to their DAO, and then 1/3 to a charity of our choice, which they had let us know. We still haven't picked out the charity yet, but we ran our first one for an idea like that. Kind of more so as a proof of concept, just because I know we've been doing them traditionally for Foxy, as that's kind of a benefit to owning Foxes, but for a cause that kind of was joint between both projects, we figured we'd try this out. So it went for 40.6 Solana to Degen Dad, I believe is what his name is on Twitter. I will apologize if I butchered that. So certainly happy to have him in the Foxy family. I believe he's now an owner of more Foxes than just the one. And love to kind of see our community growing. It certainly is a good thing for us in general, for the health of our community and our projects. It's very interesting in general to kind of see the landscape of NFTs. I'll say from day to day at this point, because it's very interesting, even from like a social aspect. Someone pointed out the other day. They took a screenshot of Magic Eden's newest collections that they've posted, and they said 9 out of 10 were derivative based, because Magic Eden now added in that derivative tag that you can see it. And it actually was 11 out of 12, which, I mean, granted, 9 out of 10, 11 out of 12, still, rough stats in my opinion, for decent projects that are trying to exist in a space where we have all of this. I think at the end of the day, as long as there's money to be made by somebody, I mean, it's not going to stop or slow down, which is unfortunate. But the best thing that we can do is just keep building on our end, keep providing value out to the community, keep building in more tools, which we'll talk about within our Foxes, and just doing what we're doing as far as the community goes, as far as our outreach goes, as far as our onboarding side goes, which I know I'd like to do a little bit of a better job personally from a content perspective. But it's been awesome. Our Discord is crazy active. I can't thank the community enough for what everyone does. Everyone kind of has their own little special part, which I think is pretty awesome. I think at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're a strong community. We're with people that are very talented and very smart, in the space. The good part about having a community, the size of ours, because I think that's what gives us an advantage over quite a few, especially newer projects that have a smaller supply, It's just the fact that we have more eyes kind of seeing everything. So from doing due diligence, from finding great whitelists or something out there that you can kind of leverage us for as creators, to try and get us some slots in different projects. It just really strengthens our community and kind of brings us up as a whole, which I think has been pretty fantastic. So like one of the better mints that I was able to get a decent chunk of whitelists for this week was Best Buds, which actually was yesterday that I completely jacked up on. Just getting my time slots wrong for doing the minting side, which I'm salty about, but that's how it works. But from everyone else that was able to get in, that worked out quite well. Obviously we can't guarantee that for every single whitelist or anything that we throw into our raffle section, um, but getting our community to find these opportunities and show them to me. I do a level of due diligence. I don't just get every project that DMs me and says, hey, can we offer whitelist to foxes, because at the end of the day I also don't want other projects to really just take advantage of our community. I mean, that can easily be done again with a community our size. So having said that, really is a long way of me ranting, but just trying to say a huge shout out to our community. I think everyone's doing quite great from a project's perspective, from an activities perspective. So keep doing what you're doing. If you want to do more within the Fox side, from like a creativity side or something like that, always kind of drop us DMs. I will apologize in advance. I know there's some people I still have to get back to, but we're always open to kind of seeing what people are doing in the space that might want to do a little bit more on the Fox's side. I know our dev had posted out to try and get someone to help us, which I think we might have someone. I can't confirm that quite yet, from like the whitelist token side and such. It's become a lot to kind of manage myself. I know Dev has been helping me out with that as well, and some community members. I will say that there have been some folks that have kind of taken over, especially if they're a little bit more intertwined with projects to help out a bit with like the whitelist status and collecting wallets and all that. So I certainly appreciate that from our community side, but just to get a little bit more help on the team. We are a smaller team, and it does seem that right now that's the hot thing, which has also prompted us to introduce the token marketplace. We don't have an official name for it yet. It's just called Token Marketplace right now. We did open a text chat, text chat, that is literally, how many above alpha is it? Right above alpha, called the FFF Token Marketplace, naming or something along those lines, where a lot of people have dropped a lot of creative ideas in there. So I certainly appreciate the information that people are putting in there. I've gotten a kick out of, I'll say, a strong majority of the names in there have been very entertaining, especially the ones that are referencing FedEx. I mean, for obvious reasons, we can't do it. I think I think I think Dev's put in there a couple of times. The goal with the naming side there is to just make sure that we, from like a general ease of use side of things, that people could come in and kind of identify what it is that they're getting themselves into. Especially with the idea that a lot of tokens won't necessarily be verified. They're just sent out from projects, and the projects keep track of that token, for a minting side of things. And if people get lucky enough to get those tokens, for example, Cursed Mikes was also another one that we got a few tokens from, actually a community member. So I certainly appreciate them. But yeah, if you get those Cursed Mike tokens from whatever other ways that they exist, and this is true for all mints that are doing the token model, you can list those tokens in our marketplace for whatever Solana price you want, and people can go in and buy them. We do charge a 2% nominal fee to it. It hasn't. I mean, we literally just launched it recently. It hasn't grown into like crazy proportions. It seems fairly reasonable on our end from a creation side. And again, this is kind of for all tokens. So I saw someone put in there like ammunition, which I believe is for which is for Star Atlas, or I'm probably mixing up my projects there, but yeah, if there's a token that you have in your wallet, you can list it on that token marketplace. So we'll have a name for it. It's most likely going to be something that involves token in the wording. That way, it can kind of just showcase what it is. I think the one that I liked was just a ridiculously long name that had like Emporium token and probably the word Max at the end, which was a nod to South Park's post-COVID episode or whatever it was. That was absolutely ridiculous and amazing at the same time for NFTs. So if you haven't had a chance to go see that episode, I highly recommend it. It's one that I've pinged a few gifs from Vic Chaos, I believe is Butter's future name in the episode. But yeah, if you're interested, it's worth checking out. But again, something with our token marketplace, the naming side of things, we'll get an update to that, and we'll definitely push that out into the community. We might do a vote for it. Kind of depends. There's a lot of suggestions in there, so I think the challenge at the end of the day is just to make sure that no one feels like left out. That's not my objective or our objective at all with the project. Just trying to find some way of kind of getting the community a little bit involved. Maybe we'll kind of whittle it down to about like 4 or 5 different options and just have everyone vote on it, and we'll kind of write that in stone. Let me just see here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought I had some questions come through, but it looks like we're good on that side. So let's see. Let me jump back a little bit. We did add in a bit more about the mission side of things. So we're still working on. We're just like getting real close to finalizing the UI side for staking 2.0. The way that we're going to start it off is we'll have 3 different sets of missions. So solo, where you just commit 1 fox to it. A duo, so you'll have 2 foxes for it, or a trio, or 3 foxes, or a combination of foxes and dens, or other NFTs that are, in our collaboration side for missions. That's what we're going to kind of start off with a launch. We're going to add more as we go along. So that's the one thing I just want to mention to some folks is the way that it's going to come out first is not the final version. It's definitely going to grow from there, but we want to get it out and kind of really get some feedback from it as we're continuously building into it, because some of our resources are being tapped for other things, which is perfectly fine, but we want to make sure that we kind of hold true with our roadmap and provide that value out to the community and to get people kind of playing around. I think the one fun thing that I'll drop is alpha. I don't think we've posted it yet, so everyone in here and anyone that goes and listens, we are talking about on the back end adding in a 1% chance to get merch from completing a mission. I'll say it's more so from claiming the treasure side, because a mission will grant you treasure, and then from there you kind of open the chests on our website, and that's just to give us more control over the randomness that exists without having to build it on the blockchain for the reward side. But as we're talking about it on the backside, yeah, there'll be about a 1% chance. It's going to kind of start off with some of the merch items that folks have been kind of creating already. So we're kind of helping out to support others in the space, which includes NFT graphics, as well as a couple of folks within our community, the Foxes, both for creating shirts and creating sweatshirts so far. I've been looking a bit more into building out like a Shopify store. So I'm not sure if anybody else has some experience with that. I'll certainly feel free to DM me first off. I'll take some guidance from anyone and everyone. I know we have to kind of work on like the design side of things, just trying to find, the right balance of timing for getting some solid merch out and kind of starting it off with a little bit more exclusive side on the missions. But then, once we kind of have that rolling and everything kind of seems like it's good to go, we'll ramp that up a bit more to get that out for more foxes is like a more general thing. So like the missions merch would be more unique from an offering side from us. versus what we kind of create and push out there for the rest of the community. So that'll just be kind of fun. I think it'll add a little bit more value into people wanting to stake, because then you'll, hopefully have a small chance at getting, some sweet merch. But maybe that's me. We threw out the honoraries as well for our dens. We pushed out the DGen DAO Academy. Um, so that one is live, which I believe is associated with their treasury. So it's both on our directory as well as I think you can just search for it. I think the directory is probably the easiest way to do it, unless you know the DGen DAO's treasury wallet. Um, we also pushed out the FoxyDAO as well for us, which is tied to our treasury. So if anyone's interested in kind of checking that out, you can find that in our directory as well. We did our first Foxy Raffle. So the way that we kind of built that out is that's going to be on a monthly basis, only because of the pricing side of things. Each ticket for that costs 2,000 Foxy, which I know is a little bit steep. The prizes, though, are pretty solid. So we had a mix of foxes, dens, um, Foxy itself, I think 25K Foxy. There were, I believe, 20 of those that we gave away, and a couple of Bitmon trainers that were supplied by Bustos over on the Bitmon side of things. So shout out to him. And I think it went pretty well. I mean, it obviously, it's a mechanism that we're looking at using for the burning side of our token. The reward side is solid, and at the end of the day, it's Foxy that most likely folks are getting, for free from just owning foxes and staking them. Of course, you can buy it. There are dexes and such out there that exist, but for the most part, our main goal is to put it out there as a form of a utility for folks to be able to potentially win some solid prizes. And again, we'll be doing that on a monthly basis. So feel free to check that out as we go along. The other announcement I wanted to push is we did an infographics contest, which was around all of the utilities that you could do with Foxy. I know that I've mentioned a few times, for those of you that have been in any chats as of recent, especially yesterday or this morning, or I'll say earlier today. I don't necessarily know if it was in the morning, but anyway, we have got a lot of utilities for Foxy, and it takes myself, at least 10 to 15 minutes to do what I'll call an elevator pitch to some folks. And we just wanted to try to get the community involved with, showcasing, all the different functions and features that can be done with our utility token. So there were a lot of great submissions for it. And I believe we did conclude that and gave out prizes for it. We gave, I believe we gave Foxy out for everyone that participated, as well as the winners to it as well. But yeah, I mean, our community is crazy creative. The videos and such have been super helpful. I've actually have used those and kind of shared them around for some people that ask me about it, because probably every day I have a few people that kind of DM me on the down low from other communities, and they're like, hey, I'm interested in buying foxes. Can you tell me, like, why should I buy foxes? And I basically kind of say, why not? But then I have to include the utility side, from our project in general. I think there's a lot there, and it can be quite difficult in a text format. So the videos and infographics certainly help with that. So huge shout out to everyone that participated there. It's been very, very, very helpful. So I appreciate you. We also pushed out one of the things that I've been waiting a little while for, which are the dens banners. So if you have a den and you add one room token to it, it doesn't matter if it's the cheapest or the most expensive, or if you got the room token for free. It will increase the size of your den space on the sites on the site, so you'll see the full size banner. And I think for the most part, people have posted almost all of the variations you can see. But it's kind of cool. It reveals a little bit more to the scene based off of the den that you have. it does include our 1-for-1s. I don't believe it includes our honoraries as of yet. It does include the submarine as well, I should say. But so that one was kind of an honorary auction from our Foxy side. But the ones that we've been giving out to other projects, I don't believe as of yet we have full size banners for those. So if you're interested in checking out what your full size banner looks like, feel free to add another room to it. Or if you want to ask around for someone else that has one, you're kind of curious to see what it looks like, I'm sure people will be more than happy to kind of do that for you. The one thing of feedback that we've gotten that I don't know if we've touched with it yet is the sizing for Twitter. For people, for anyone interested in using it as a Twitter banner, it's off from a sizing perspective. So I might take it upon myself to try and increase the sizing on them. I know that's a little bit of extra work, on our end, but I know there's some people I think that are interested in using them as banners on Twitter. But one way or another, we'll figure out a way that we can kind of make everyone happy with that. I think they're off by just a bit. Because I think the ratio on them right now is 2400 by 1200, and I think it needs to go to something that's of the magnitude of 1500 to 500. So it does need to increase, I believe, by about 1200 pixels in width to match that same ratio. But again, that's something that we're talking about on the backside, just for anyone that's interested in the Twitter banner side. We were primarily looking at it from our website perspective. I think I've mentioned it before. In our dens page, it's more of a pear shape where the den at the top is a square shape and then everything below it is wider. So we just wanted to try and fill it up so really it kind of fit more of a rectangle than a pear shaped on there. So just a fun fact behind the scenes for the craziness that exists in our brains and methods. Let's see. Yeah, and I think the last item in there that's from our announcement side was our auction. So I mean, outside of that, I mean that's kind of been our crazy week. There's been a lot of other things in general going on in the space, which has been pretty fun. The Twitter Spaces I was involved with yesterday really was to highlight the 1-for-1 artists that are kind of in the space, which has been pretty awesome. So shout out to those that are doing 1-for-1s. I do see Flag Monkeys in here. A huge fan of what they're doing as well. We did kind of do an official partnership with them, which I think we've pushed out there already. So we do have a Flag Monkey in our treasury that is a fox monkey, if you will. That's kind of fun in our Solana Den interior interpretation by their artists, which has been pretty awesome. And they as well have a famous fox. But there's a lot of really neat 1-for-1 artists that are out there that are doing fun things. So shout out to everyone out there that's kind of grinding that path. Setting a name for yourself. There's a lot of opportunity that exists in the space. So I would say just to keep up the grind. It's definitely worth it, and build up a good community, a good following, and just kind of keep going. This really would be my personal advice. But yeah, it's been very kind of fun to kind of see that in the space. So I've been kind of supporting some 1-for-1 artists as of recent, for sure. And you guys are nuts. But that kind of covers most of the stuff from this week. What I'll do is I'm gonna poke around in chat just to kind of see if anyone has anything specific question wise that I can answer. I know I kind of covered a lot of that information in a very short period of time. Probably because I was just trying to run out of breath. A couple of things worth mentioning. So again, feel free to. I apologize, lost my train of thought there, but feel free to request to speak if you'd like to ask any kind of question that I can answer, or if you want to drop it in Fox chat. I'm gonna watch that for right now. The one thing I did want to mention for anyone that did not have a chance to pop into the AMA earlier with Chill Chat, we do have an official collaboration with them as well, which we'll publish more information about it once the auction gets to a closer date. But they did create an origin of famous for us. I think it's been posted a couple of times in different spots between our Discord and I know they tweeted it out earlier. So if you wanted to kind of poke through their tweets, I believe I liked and retweeted as well. If I didn't, I'll go back and do that. But that'll be going up for auction. It doesn't have a tie really for our DAO or anything along those lines. It's created on their side. It's just a nod to our project and more of a collaboration side of things. And the winner of the auction just wins that origin of famous. There isn't really anything else kind of tied to it. So just full disclosure on that end, it's just a likeness of a fox with a diamond shirt. They kind of did in a cute fashion, and it's got all the perks of being an origin within Chill Chat. So anyone that's familiar with it or not, feel free to kind of check those out from Chill Chat's side, which has been pretty cool. But I think for the most part, that's what I wanted to cover today. We've been running, for anyone interested on the DGen side, we've been running poker games every Friday night at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's just been easy enough that we get enough people interested in joining in. So we had our second game this week, which total prize pool was 20,000 Foxy, and based off the number of people that we had play in it, we did kind of a split of 50%, 30%, 20% to the top three. So payouts were 10, 6, and 4,000 Foxy. And buy-in for that's 1,000 Foxy, and we usually do 2 rebuys on top within the first hour. After that, we'll kind of close it up so that way the game has an end in sight and people don't just keep buying back in. But the game usually goes for about an hour 40-ish, give or take, depending on the size. And I try to adjust the blinds based off the number of people that are coming. And there was one blind that someone called me out for this week that I didn't make the small blind half of the big blind, so that's on me. But it's a good time. It's pretty chill, it's pretty low key. This time it was also I double booked myself on top of that 1-for-1 space as well, so I was kind of doing double duty, and I got destroyed in poker. But it's all good. It goes out to a good community that's playing in there, so I certainly appreciate it. You guys are hilarious with the comments on my voice. I do appreciate it, but it's very entertaining for me to read through because you guys are absolutely nuts. Oh, and Flag Monkey, shout out to you real quick because you just changed your PFP, or you probably changed it a little bit earlier to the Flag Monkey you guys did for Foxes. So certainly appreciate that, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I'll open it up for questions. I don't see no one's requesting up here, which is perfectly fine. If you guys don't have anything kind of on your minds, I won't keep the space open terribly much longer. I certainly would mind ending a little early. That's not a problem. I see Brink's up in here. Decent amount of folks up in here. All right, Brink, let's bring you up here. Let's see what Bronk's got going on tonight. Hey. Oh, I'll bring James up too.
Hey, it's me. I totally
What's that?
I totally spaced out on the spaces tonight. How funny.
Oh, what? The fact that we started it and you weren't here for like the whole thing?
Yeah, that was interesting. Man, you step away from your computer for a little bit of time, and it feels like a year goes. You miss so much. I hope I didn't miss anything special.
Yeah, I mean, we basically gave so much alpha in here. That's why the foxes have just been getting eaten up.
Brink likes to be fashionably late. Let's be honest.
I'm usually fashionably early. I'm usually like the first person in here.
Wrong.
Yeah,
exactly.
we don't come early. We come late, and then we come in and bring the alpha for everybody. So
yeah, exactly. For everyone that sticks around for it.
I know, right? Hey, no, but you didn't, Drax. You didn't talk about all the new utility that's on the site yet. Can you talk about like the token marketplace? The token.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I did mention it. I think I mentioned it like super early on. So anyone that kind of jumped in might have missed it. I probably should have kind of done it in a better order. But yeah. So as far as the token marketplace, I know I went on a rant earlier, but we're looking at doing a naming side of things for it. We can't use FedEx. We're going to use something different, most likely with the name token, and it just so people understand. But the token marketplace is a marketplace where you can go and list tokens Specifically, the creation, the idea for creating it is more so around whitelist tokens that people are getting from just either owning a specific project where you get the token for it, being in a raffle where you win whitelist tokens and they get sent to you. It's just a secondary marketplace for folks to sell, tokens, and you list them for Solana, whatever price you want to list them for. You don't have to own a Fox in order to list or to buy on it. It's purely a place so people can exchange them versus doing OTC trades. I think we just have a 2% fee on them. There's no royalties that are associated, I don't believe, with tokens. So it's just a place that's easy to use for folks to be able to buy and sell tokens for really anything. So like we've got Bronx listed on there. There's ammunition listed on there for a different project. There's some other tokens, which I'm going to assume are whitelist tokens. I mean, the one caveat that I should have mentioned earlier that I didn't is we did put a disclaimer on there. Just verify the address for the token before you purchase it, for whatever project you're planning on buying that token for from like a whitelist perspective. So and that's part of the spiel is projects recently have been giving out tokens for minting whatever the next thing is that they're creating or the first thing that they're creating. And so there's just an opportunity there for folks to be able to buy and sell those tokens if they wanted to on the secondary marketplace. And so it brings in the utility side for folks that want to buy and sell whitelist tokens or really anything that's of value that's listed as a token on Solana.
And the other thing that happened this week that I thought was cool is that if you add a room to your den, you get kind of this banner, right? Like each one of the dens get a wider banner, and there's extra lot. Yeah, an upgrade. So, like, did you talk about that too?
I did. Yeah, I did talk about it, but I'll certainly circle back. I don't mind because some people might have joined in a little bit later. Yes, we added in. They're like basically double the width banners, and I even mentioned earlier too that I think for some folks that are interested in using those banners, like on Twitter as an example, it needs to be another level wider. So I mentioned that I might go back and try to help out to make them wider so folks can use them as Twitter banners if they wanted to. I think it might be a little bit tricky because I think it jacks up things with our site because of the sizing with the perspective of everything below it. But maybe there's some kind of an option we can put in so people can like download it as a Twitter banner or something like that. It might not be something that we push out soon, but definitely something worth considering to people.
And which den is your favorite? Like if, like, I thought for me, I don't own it yet. I just bought a couple dens today, but like the one that I thought has the coolest, like wider den is the floating castle.
Yeah. I picked up an angel not terribly long ago. That's the angel den, and that's one of the ones with the statues on the angel is I think the rarest that we have in the base set, excluding the 1-for-1s. It's interesting, I as far as like favorite den, like the favorite look and feel for it personally for me, I think it's the Solana den. I think it's just like the level of like grunge mixed with the neon sign to it. Like it's kind of like cyberpunk-esque. I kind of cling to that.
I bet you can't guess what my favorite den is. Look at my PFP.
It's got aliens.
Nope. You got this. Come on. Somebody has to. There's the Easter egg.
Oh, is it the vampire?
Foxes. Nope.
What else? Is it just the actual fox, the safari one?
Yes. Absolutely. The safari with the fox. That's where Minnie comes from.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's funny too because I actually don't think any of them generated, but we added in the mini fox as an interior item. But I don't believe it actually generated any interiors with the mini fox in it for any of the dens, kind of as like a fun Easter egg for folks to know, because we made it so it was already like I want to say like a 10% chance for the interiors to get any items, and we had, I want to say, 21 different interior items that were all taken from the different attributes. So what I'm really saying is that we spent a lot of time creating a lot of things, of which some of them were not used as a fun Easter egg for for folks that don't know too much about like the creation side of dens. So I don't believe there are any dens that have a mini fox inside of them, and if there are, feel free to shoot them out into the community.
Yeah, I
I don't
haven't
know if
found
I've
it. I
seen
think
it.
the only ones with the mini fox is
Or
the
the Safari
Safari. Yep,
exterior.
Safari
Yeah.
with fox. Yep, that's the only place you can find a mini fox.
Yeah. I think as far as the wide banners go too, the one that I think is really fun is I'll call it the Pocket Monster exterior, because we kind of went more into the route of like the Pokemon-esque side, and so we added in a, I'll call it grayed out, but I think it's more like greened out Snorlax sleeping by a couple of trees. I believe it's off to the left hand side of that banner. So that one was also kind of fun to do as a nod, to the same look and feel of what the Pocket Monster really kind of represents.
Talking about those, I don't think I've seen the Hobbit one wide yet. I haven't seen one of the Hobbit dens with the extended banner. I'm trying to click through right now and see if I can find one.
Are you cheating to look through all of them because you know the way of cheating to find them, or are you looking through like
a way?
Oh, okay.
I know a way that I was doing that initially to figure out the quickest way to find that, but right now I'm just going through the directory list trying to find one.
I'll just add another room to my Hobbit one and see what it looks like. I'm just gonna do that tonight.
Oh, I found one. Loading.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of what we added on it.
I'm looking at it right now. It's just like a nice little garden chair with a table.
Yeah.
It looks very scenic.
I feel like Gandalf needs to pop out. I feel like Gandalf needs to come out. I mean, come on. Lord of the Rings dork, I am, for sure.
We'll add in something where you can pay Foxy to have
missed opportunity. You could have put like the ring on the table, the one ring outside.
Oh my god. You know how
we still can do it.
The Hobbit hole would just be rocket up if you put anything like that.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of fun, right? We have like complete creative freedom. The banner, the extra width size banners are overlays to the den. So they're ones where, I mean, in theory we could kind of customize them too. I kind of wonder how much interest there'd be if we were to make
if you started like with the Hobbit hole, started adding in different rooms, like the pantry, where all the dwarves came in for the Hobbit. Like, we should have the pantry in there. We should have the dining room in there. I mean, come on. We should have the fireplace where the ring is. I'm such a Lord of the Rings nerd. Like, the Hobbit hole is like my favorite den by far. Yeah, and then Fassa right behind it, but I like the Hobbit hole.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, you bring up a good point though. So we do have. Let me see from an alpha perspective. I know it was actually suggested way long ago, and Collier probably forgets the fact that he even suggested it. But we do have right now a Harry Potter-esque apothecary style potions type room being made, as well as a gym for Brink. But yeah, I didn't really think about us not really having like a dining room specific room for a den. Like, I know we added the poker room in. I know there've been quite a few fun additions, especially
rewind it back. Hold on. Where the Harry Potter stuff?
It's not out yet. It's being worked on. Yeah, I'm dropping
I'm
alpha.
definitely going to stack all my
There you
Foxy
go.
for that.
Yeah.
I've been stacking it for the Gargalon one. That's been my next.
but listen, it's not. It's Harry Potter-esque. It's not Harry Potter. I want to put that out there. I see people throwing it up in
Bronchi
chat.
Gym.
But
people are excited about the Bronchi Gym. Now you just need a Bronchi swamp.
The Bronx Gym. I actually saw the art for that today. It looks pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is there a Bronc on it?
There is not a Bronc on it. I apologize. I mean, there's the potential that we could add a Bronc. It just depends. It depends on what the community.
1% chance.
A 1%.
Actually, no. You know if you do Bronc anything, it's more than a 1% chance.
I don't know if we could do that though. I don't know if we could do that. Yeah, because the way we have the marketplace set up right now, I think it's a specific room that you just buy. I don't know if we can make them a generative piece. That's something I've talked to Dev about before because we have generative rooms with the exception of the newest ones that we've created. They've all been flat ones, but we can make them generative.
Possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless. Exactly.
I want the oil painting of Brink in one of our den rooms.
Yeah, we did talk about we might still work on trying to find a way of doing like a gallery room where you can like go.
Well, how did you add
room.
the Christmas tree stuff? Like with Christmas, like one of the dens I bought today had a Christmas tree in it. So like, there's clearly opportunity to add little.
Oh yeah. We can certainly add. We have we can customize the dens kind of however we want. We actually were talking about on the back ends, and again, I think this would be a bigger undertaking, and that's why we haven't really done it or discussed it. But making kind of like a design your own den room where you might have different options that you can like pay Foxy for and like move things around and kind of like decorate it. But like you kind of be limited to a certain degree because of all the pieces that are involved with a den interior. I mean, I know it might probably look very simple to a lot of people because, at the end of the day, it's an isometric, interior room that just has so many things to it. But it gets complicated from a perspective degree and, sizing and on all that kind of fun stuff and what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, where things are placed. Like it kind of has to jive for the most part. But yeah, the Christmas items that we put out there, those were ones that I helped Dev just figure out placements for all of them, and then he has a way of kind of pushing them out there and adding them to the OG original interior rooms for dens.
I really think like if you have all these little things like the Christmas trees where you could go in the marketplace and use your Foxy to buy like, I don't know, room additions, people are going to go crazy for that. Like if I could buy the one ring for my Hobbit hole,
yeah,
I'm buying that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I think it just depends on how much time I guess is involved with us trying to be able to do that. Just because the interiors, exteriors are like very specific for them as well. So it's something that's on our list. I will throw that out there for sure. Just no promises on on really anything until we get a better understanding of what's involved.
No, this is just brainstorming. Last week we came up with pure genius with the Broncometer.
We did come up with the pure genius of Broncometer. I haven't done anything with it yet.
That hasn't come out yet. But that's pure alpha.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Put it into the universe. That's all that matters.
That's true.
Just got to get it out there, and then eventually it'll happen, right? Just manifest.
The other thing you haven't talked about, Drax, is like the alpha channel, and it's been popping.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier because I know Gway threw it in there. I was salty because even though I was greenlisted for Best Buds, I jacked up my timing on it. So I didn't mint any of them. I actually bought secondary, and I flipped one of them. Fortunately, the other one I still have. I think it's still in the green, but I know their floor price kind of came down from what it was yesterday. It's going to happen with projects, right? You have the hype side for the pump, and I'm not going to call it a pump and dump scheme. That's not what it is. It's a legitimate project, but But yeah, our alpha calls recently have been like fantastic for a lot of things. And I did mention it earlier. I think part of that is the fact that we have, such a strong, solid, large community with eyes like everywhere.
Trader
It helps.
number 4.
Yeah, trader number 4. You know who you are, 31. But yeah, it really helps from a DD side. It really helps from finding the actual projects and such out there. I mean, I think that's been a huge help. And I did mention too, like the raffles and the whitelist allocations that we've been giving out, like those have been pretty solid. And I did kind of highlight too that there are a lot of projects that do still reach out to me on the sidelines to just try to get on that, whitelist raffle side of things. But I prefer it come from, really our community versus a project just trying to, I'll say, take advantage of our community. I don't mean that. I don't think every project really is, at the end of the day, trying to take advantage of our community. They're really trying to figure out how they can market in general. And I know a lot of people have been hearing about our alpha, and it certainly has brought in new foxes. We can kind of see our unique wallet holding side increase every day, which has been awesome. But yeah, no, huge shout outs to the Foxes. With everything that's been going on in Alpha,
I mean,
it's been
what I've seen
nuts.
is that like when you're in Alpha, people will kind of call out what they think is good or what is not good, and then the community kind of helps each other. Like I think with Pirates dropped today, people were like, "Hey, I got an extra token. I'll mint for you." You got to be careful of that stuff, right? But most of the time, the Foxes they're pretty awesome. They'll be like, "Hey, look, I don't need this extra mint. Does anyone else want it? Who wants it?" And I feel like it's just the community helps you kind of get into projects even early. So, I feel like the Alpha channel may be one of the best reasons to be a Fox, but maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah,
I agree.
Quite a bit of an honor system in there. Chup Drax.
Sure.
There's quite a bit of an honor system with the alpha, and I think there's a lot that goes into. I guess, started small in a sense, and it's been just like slow organic growth to get Foxes to the point that we are now, to where that we don't have new people that we've never seen before coming in every day. It's like trying to promote a project that is theirs, or they're trying to like do something underhanded. Most people are in that boat of they do research and everything, and I think for the most part, other alpha chat Foxes do the same thing. Everyone tries to go and do their own research, but it's just like we have a solid group that's been in there since day one. They make good calls. We obviously succeed as a group based on a lot of that stuff, and it just grows. People come in, they see what that's like, that expectation for doing your research and what kind of quality of mint we're going for. You still get the people that pop in and they'll try to promote like their own project, or they'll try to promote something and not give information about it. But I think just in the nature of that group, we're all pretty aware of when that's happening, and we don't just try to ape into random stuff that we have no idea, or we're not getting dumped on by somebody that's trying to come in and promote something that they just have a bunch listed on the floor. So it's a super good place, I think, to even just learn. Even if you're not in there, like I don't mint much. If you're just watching things and you have some input, everyone's always appreciative to talk to them. Like you said, the Toad Boys mint was the other day. I didn't have that. Someone had an extra mint. I think it was Case. Extra mint token, tossed it my way. I minted. Ended up getting like a decently rare one. So just a quick, I haven't sold it yet, but if I were to floor it, it's still 2 times the mint price. So it's the sense of community in Alpha Channel is probably the strongest that I've seen.
Yeah, and we don't hit home runs every time, but on the whole, because I've been an Alpha, I've definitely stacked more soul with fast flips or like things that are like best buds. The other day, I definitely I bought a one at 3 soul, and within 10 minutes I sold it for 6 soul, like no doubt. Like it was awesome, and I wasn't even looking at best buds, but because of the Alpha channel, I was like, all right, and I could just ask questions like, what are you guys thinking? What's your info? Like where you're getting it from? Like, and I thought, for me, Alpha, I spend more time with Alpha channel than any other Discord channel, and I'm in a lot of them, and ETH projects as well. So I feel like anyone who's thinking about, like, do I get the, FFF instead of a TFF, like, you'd be crazy enough to get an FFF to just Alpha alone just to see what people are thinking. And for me, it's got me into projects I didn't even know about, but of course you got to do your own research, but there's a lot of amazing stuff happening in there. I think it's probably one of the best channels in all of Discord, but I'm biased, I think.
Yeah, and I paid you for that. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I can't agree with you anymore. I mean, the one thing I mentioned earlier, I was salty about was that I was greenlisted for Best Buds, and I messed up the mint time on it. Like I just Magic Eden. I was on my other wallet when I was really looking at it. Magic Eden had its time posted for public. Someone was saying that if I was on my whitelisted or greenlisted wallet, that I would have seen the time for when it started. So yeah, I didn't mint that. I should have minted 5, and had I minted 5, I mean, odds are when I was going to paper hand them, it still would have been, 15, 20 Solana gain, in a short period of time. And I know that went out. I mean, when we do the raffle side in our DAO, even if we have, let's call them 25 whitelist slots, because I think we might have given out 40 or 30 for Best Buds. It was even more than 25. Or greenlist spots, whatever you want to consider them for that. There were only maybe, let's call it 300 or so reactions. So you've got a 10% chance of being able to get onto, a list like that. And again, to James's point, not everyone's a home run, right? And I'm hopeful at the end of the day that, none of them will be rugs. I can't promise that. That's borderline impossible, especially with the state of NFTs, in general, with how many are being created. But what I can promise is that, like, I'm not just putting every project that comes and says, "Hey, we have whitelist slots. Can we give them to your community?" I'm doing, a certain level of DD on my side, but as always, we always recommend to do your own research for any project posted in alpha, in raffles, and anything like that. Even if the calls are fantastic, 10 out of 10 times, the 11th one could potentially be not a good one. So always do your own research. It's not financial advice, but I think that our alpha and our raffles that we've been doing recently have been great.
I mean, the other thing that's going on is you have other communities within the community. Like, I don't think that's what everyone realizes. Is like you've got other Solana projects like the Dagos, like Weedle,
Yep.
who comes in there, and I have had more whitelist home runs because of Dagos, but I'll just be like, hey, Weedles, like, what do you think about this? And again, like that some stuff's going to be a total flop, but
Sure.
It gets you into whitelist. Like, it's communities that touch other communities. Like the Foxes know other communities, so just by being in Foxes and being in Alpha, you're going to get connected to the broader community, and you're going to get into stuff that is going to be a home run. But you got to just know that some stuff you get into, well, we're degens, so we suck sometimes.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? We're all degens. I mean, I think, advice that would go with that, of course, is just use money that you could throw away. Don't ape into, every single thing. Just spend a little bit of time. And to your point, there are a lot of different communities that are, represented within our Foxes as well. And, I don't know how much time people spend in Discords, like you had mentioned. I mean, I'm like 99% of my time in Foxes. I might jump into a few others to poke around to see, what's been going on with them as of recent. But for the most part, I'm in Alpha. I'm in most of the chat channels. If I'm not, running through my DMs constantly, just to try and get some things sorted out. But yeah, our alpha channel is a lot of fun. The sub thread on alpha with the Bronk DAO, even though I'm pretty sure Bronk rugged us, has been fantastic too.
No such thing.
A creativity side of things.
Bronk would never do that to you. Bronk is love.
Well, tell it to Bronk and the Bronk DAO.
Hey, they voted me out. I don't know if this is about Bronky Swamp or what the issue is here, but I'm sure we can come to some agreement.
That's hilarious.
Well, that's gotta be the next den interior, right? Just a Bronky indoor swamp. I don't know what it means, but it sounds
dude, if we had a den that was a room that was a swamp, Bronky Swamp, I would buy that. I'd spend all my Foxy for Bronky Swamp.
Or maybe we just make it one like real blank plain room with just a Bronk rug.
Yes.
And it's like a secret webpage. If you click on the rug, you can actually go into the secret area under the floorboards.
Yeah, and when you go in the secret area,
it's a cult room.
Got the Bronchiometer 5000. Bro, Easter eggs are what we're all here for.
That is true.
When you know, you know.
People say crypto's a cult. I don't know what they mean.
What do you mean you know what they mean? We're definitely a cult. Yes, it's a pyramid scheme.
I was going to say,
you know the Office episode, right? Where Jim.
Oh my god, I love that reference.
Isn't that the best?
I love that reference.
Yes, like no, it's not a pyramid scheme. Yes, it is. Like Michael, you're at the top, and these three are there. That's the best. I can't decide if I like the pyramid scheme one or like the Brothers of New York pizza one. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one. No.
Funny thing for the Office
are you
GIF,
kidding?
If you look up in Discord, if you just type in the GIFs pyramid, it's like one of the first images that you see. So it's got to be like very frequently used.
Dude, it's amazing. Ponzi, the Ponzi pyramid with Michael Scott. That's good.
Yeah, Gway is asking to explain Brink. Do you want to give like a 5 minute what's Brink?
I don't need 5 minutes. Brink is the Brink Doodle Bob. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah, but like its origin story. I mean, Brink came, and maybe we'll do it in this space, and and then future spaces we won't have to explain it.
The Brink summary. All right, so essentially, and this is funny because I've been involved in other communities in like the past couple of years since I've like adopted the Brink moniker, and I always end up being Brink in some way. But Brink started. It's just like the next evolution of typing Brink because the O is right next to the I. So at one point, either someone typos or someone just thinks to call me something else. But I basically scam bait people. So every once in a while, someone would pop in the Fox Discord and be like, "Oh, buying Fox right now," and then it's like, "Oh, that's obviously a scam." So I'd jump in, I'd waste their time, and eventually, what they'd try to do is like send me DevNet money or DevNet Solana in exchange for my Fox profile picture. And I would try to give them so many indications that I know that they're trying to scam, but it's like they have no clue. It's just the craziest thing. They're actually NPCs. So what I did was I opened up Paint and I just made like a really crappy drawing of my Fox, and I minted it on SolSea or whatever it's called, SolSea. So it was actually an NFT I could send to the guy. So he's like, okay, we finally got this deal out of the way. And I always have some crazy story. Like in the middle of the scam, I was like, oh man, I gotta go. My neighbor's here. He's trying to get that ladder back that I borrowed from him. I was like, and then I would update the guy after 5 minutes, like, oh, this guy is not leaving. And then I would escalate it. But essentially, after I'd waste a bunch of his time, like 30 minutes. I'd send him the fake NFT, and then he'd be like, what is this? Is this a real one? I was like, yeah, what do you mean? Did you not get the right thing? It must be network congestion or something. So I'd be like, send me a picture. So I get them to take a screenshot, or in some cases, they would take like a cell phone picture of the goofy Brink, which it wasn't even named a Brink. It's called like Famous Fax Fear Nation or whatever amalgamation of typing Famous Fox Federation. Just an obvious copy off low quality, low effort picture. And it was just so funny. That was like the cherry on top. It's like they get the crappy fake NFT, they realize something's not right, and then they send me the screenshot of it in their wallet. It's just the cherry.
The rest of us that were watching this happen as you were screenshotting.
It's been a couple of times. You may have seen one or two, but I think I've probably done it 4 or 5 or 6 times at this point. Where
we are belly laughing out loud. Like, it's one thing when you're sitting around your family and you're just laughing, and everyone's like, "What's wrong with you?" And you're like, I can't even explain.
You can't explain it. You can't begin to explain it.
You can't explain it.
That's essentially that's essentially what the Brink persona turned into. Is like Brink is just synonymous with that crappy pixel paint image of the Fox that I made, and it turned into a DAO. It turned into a token. People started making their own. People started doing Brink auctions for the tokens. It still goes. It still goes on, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, but now I have a minted, pixelated Brink in my wallet, and I know I'm rich. Like, I'm rich. I don't have to work
Bronx you have.
Yeah, that was a funny part of it too. So the very first Brink ever in existence belongs to a scammer. So eventually, I mean, he kind of won at that point, because eventually, if those things take off, he has one. Hopefully, he doesn't like throw it away or something. But
he probably burned it with moratorium.
So if he knows what that is. So I think the legacy, how many are out there? I think I minted 4 originally because I accidentally minted more than 1 because like the network congestion wasn't having it, and when I wanted to realize it was 4. So I gave one away Discord. I think Mark some undisclosed sum of Solana or whatever he traded him. The scammer has one, and then I sent one to Busto's wallet. So if you go to OX Busto's den, you have a Bronk in there. And then I think it was last weekend maybe, Case Ketchum made some comment like super late at night. It's like, win Bronk auction. So I was like, yeah, win Bronk auction. So I made one, put 10 up. I messed up I didn't even realize what I was doing or how many I put up there. It ended up being 10 auctions for an hour. I didn't even link it. I just said somewhere on the internet there's an auction. They found it, passed it around like a bunch of Discords. I think 9 of them sold. One of the people that ended up buying one wasn't even in the Fox Discord. I don't remember how he ended up with the link. But after that point is when that Bronk DAO actually started.
We need to get one of them and auction them. I guarantee you're going to watch the Foxy fly for it. It's going to be bananas.
Well, the Bronk tokens are on the whitelist token marketplace. So
I may have listed 5 of them for very low Solana so other people get in. Just to see how token marketplace works. It was a pure test. It's not because I want to really get rid of my Bronk tokens. But, you know.
Yeah, if you list them for less than 69 at Spud.
I might have.
I'm just saying.
I might have. I just wanted to see if the token marketplace was working.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, it's a pure test. I don't know if anyone's bought them yet. But
I hope they did.
My favorite is that you can put a filter on of verified tokens, and when you click verified, Bronk's verified. How hilarious is that? That's so good.
Eventually, this token marketplace, I feel like it's one of those things. It's going to take off. More people are going to know about it, and they're going to start using it. And then someone's going to buy a Bronk token, having no idea what it is. And I'm just going to get a bunch of Twitter DMs like, "Dude, I bought this token, you scammer. What do I get for this?"
You get a lifetime of satisfaction.
Listen, if they buy it, that's on them.
I send you 1 picture every day.
That's a lot to ask for, man. That's probably worth it.
It's the evolution of the DAO.
Of the Bronx.
Yeah, now it's a Bronk DAO. You get airdrop pictures of me every day.
Ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the one thing that I find very fun about Bronk in general is just that, like you'd said when you created it, you kind of did it like quick, like it was fast. It's not meant to be for perfect, and that's the idea.
Zero effort. There's zero effort in any Bronk related activity. It's stupid fun.
It's not zero. It's not zero.
Okay, it's non-zero. It's a non-zero effort as quickly as I possibly can do something. Before I get too bored to engage with it any further. Because the second I figure out something else to do, that idea is not happening.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, the reason why I appreciate it is because I'm a big fan of Drawful for Jackbox games, and the objective there is you get like 2 colors to draw something ridiculous, and you have not that much time, so it's not that far off of what Bronk represents, and I thought that's hilarious. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, Bronk is a movement, just like Keep Spirit.
Exactly. Well, I know we've been going longer than an hour. I want to make conscious of time. I think we've covered most of everything I wanted to go through. Let me just scroll through real quick to see if there's anything else in chat. I don't think so. Oh, someone did ask a question, and I'm not sure if they're in here, just in general, about staking foxes that are offline. So they really mean on a ledger. You can do that. You just have to go through and verify it. I'm not sure if you do stake all, if you have to verify them one at a time, or if you just verify the entire stake. It might also be per 6, because 6 is the magic number for the Solana contract side of things.
Yeah, but dude, you're missing the other thing that I thought is so cool, because I'm a Kitten Coop owner, is staking other projects. It's amazing.
Yeah. So that's a shout out to Dev. again, something I highlighted a little bit earlier on for Stake Missions 2.0. I mentioned that when we initially roll it out, we'll have 3 different sets of missions to start, and we'll expand on it from there. But it'll basically be a solo, a duo, and a trio mission. And the requirements for them will be, based off of the structure that we designed for it. So, like owning a den, a fox, and then a collaborative piece based off a different collection for, like a trio mission as an example. A duo might be, any 2 of those combinations together. So we're going to initially push out. It'll be 6 missions in total, but they're in 3 different sets. And we'll expand them as we kind of grow. We kind of want to put it out there, get a feel for it. And the piece for that you might have missed from an alpha side of things is that we talked about it on the back end. And what we're going to do as far as the reward side goes, there'll be a 1% chance from missions to get a merch token that will be doing merch for. It's going to start off small again. We're going to try to get things that are more exclusive up front from the merch side. Initially, it'll most likely be like NFT graphics and a few other things from like the community. I know someone is making shirts, and there's another person that's also making sweatshirts. So we'll be kind of pinging those resources up front, but then we're also looking to expand and start off the merch collection side of things. It'll start off more in the exclusive element from missions, but then we'll also have a more publicly available set. Just have to figure out exactly the logistics with it and the design side of things and all that fun stuff. But that is to come as well as part of the reward side from the missions.
And do you have any insight of like one of the things that we can get is fame? I saw that was one of the announcements. Like, I'm like, what the heck? What's fame?
Yeah, so the fame side of things, and I don't know if it's completely polished on our end yet. It's more so like an experience side from like doing the missions. Let me just jump into to where we had that posted up.
I might have read it a couple times and I was like, I don't know what fame is, but I want it.
You're talking about
so like the fame. What's that?
It's in the announcements.
It's there, but what does it mean?
XP on missions will be officially called as fame, is what it says.
Yeah, right. So I saw treasure chests, which I definitely want treasure chests because gotta get one of those. And then it said you're gonna get fame, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I want.
Yeah, you'll kind of have levels that are associated with like unlocking different missions and such. So like as an example, the one image that we posted out for Captain Jack's sunken ship is a level 14 mission, and that's a group mission. So like there'll be missions that people can't do until you get to a certain point to be able to kind of do them. So it's kind of taking the gamification side to another level, within our staking 2.0 mechanism. So you'll earn rewards for completing missions, but there's a level-based system to it, which I don't believe we have fully completed yet, but that'll get kind of posted out too, so people have an idea of like what's all involved for getting to specific missions, and it will kind of be a bit of a grind for getting to higher tiered missions and such, but it'll come with a greater reward and opportunity to get other fun things.
What other project? I don't care if you're on Ethereum or Solana or whatever. Like, there is nobody doing what the Foxes are doing. Are you kidding me? Like, it's unbelievable. And this is just the beginning. So, from my point,
we're 4 months old.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I'm just like,
you're telling me.
It's great, but it's fun. It's fun. Like,
oh god, yeah, it's fun.
That's what it's about. We're just here to have fun.
What the heck? Like, I mean, for me, I always feel like this is just like the hidden gem of like, forget Solana, and I'm saying of any project on anywhere. Show me any project.
He's calling them out.
Well, I will call them out because I've been in Ethereum before the Solana, and I have talked to founders.
I'm like, wars.
I mean, bring it on. Like, if you're doing more than the Foxes, I'm open to like hearing about it. I mean,
Frank already wants to fight me. I don't know if I can.
Here's the deal: you can talk about your video games and stuff you are thinking about, quote unquote, the Foxes are doing things right now. Like, can you even keep up? That's all I'm saying. Because let's talk about what's real. I can tell you, like, we're going to land on Mars and be like Elon Musk, and that's cool. But what are we doing today? And I feel like for any project, nobody's keeping up, like, with what the Foxes are doing.
Yeah, man,
we're
wrong?
Bronx.
No, I mean we're all about building in the space. You know, that's part of it. I mean, you know, there are other projects that are doing some great stuff in the space. You know, I mean, like there's certainly other projects that have their own niches to it, but you know, with us, it's just about that value side, that you know, that entertainment, that fun side. Like you know, you guys were talking about spending too much time on our Discord. Like, yeah, that's part of it. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that like Brink had said, it brings up the whole community. You know, what we're doing, we're not leaving anyone behind. Everyone has the same opportunity. If you're an owner of a Fox, I mean, you can see everything else that every other Fox can own. I can see there's no differentiation there. As long as you have a you know, famous Fox, and you're in it. But
I'm not on the team officially. Like, you guys can say what, you know, the party line. I'm just a random weirdo who draws the mini Foxes.
I'm not on the team. I'm just a Bronc.
Let's go Brink. Let's go Brink. So here's the deal. Here's what I'm seeing. And maybe I'm just a weirdo with the crystal ball who doesn't work very well. But, like, I'm seeing Shaquille O'Neal this week trying to get on stuff. I'm seeing more attention on Solana. I'm seeing the Foxes with all this utility. I'm seeing maybe OpenSea trying to do something with Solana.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one personally.
I'm seeing the Foxes at, like, if you do the comparison dollar for dollar compared to some of the Ethereum projects, I feel like the Foxes are the biggest hidden gem of any project out there right now. And maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't think I am. Because I'm in all the projects and I do what I want to do. But I feel like if you ain't buying Foxes or TFFs or DENs, then, you know, good luck to you. Because I'm enjoying it. I'm stacking Foxes and all the TFFs and DENs. And it's happening.
Yeah,
like, we're setting the pace.
And it's fun. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's fun. Like, you know, Foxes aren't unattainable by any stretch. You know, if you're looking at projects as a whole, I mean, even looking on the ETH side of things, you know, in comparison, you know, ETH to Solana, significant price difference. So, you know, it's silly, in my personal opinion, how cheap it is right now to really get into Foxes, you know, in comparison to a lot of other projects. But again, I'm a co-founder, so I'm going to be biased, of course. You know,
I'm not a
Brink had
co-founder,
pointed out
and I'm super biased. I'm not even a co-founder. You don't even know. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, look
Brink
at
pointed
it.
out
Like,
to me earlier, we have 81% of our Foxes staked, which is crazy.
It's nuts. Like, look at it compared to everything else, and look at how much utility is happening on the Foxes every week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's great. Hey, you guys are killing it. I'm enjoying it. We're all having a lot of fun. We're learning alpha. We have the coolest projects on any platform, and it's just getting started. Go ahead, Brink. Were you about to say something?
No, Jax was.
No. I was just talking about, like, you know, from a stat side of things with our project. I think we're the single largest like total number of NFTs staked for a single project. I think there might be a few other projects that have a higher percentage stake than us, but I think from a size of collection and a number of NFTs, I think we're the highest, if not one of the highest.
Yeah, and you have to take into account the FFF and TFF total, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, it's nuts. It's like 81%. No one's touching it. You know why? Utility. Like, there's just so much going on every week. So anyone who is in the project now, you're lucky, in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, I think you guys are doing things that no one else is thinking about doing and just having fun with it, you know? Like, some of the stuff that you're doing, hey, maybe it doesn't come to anything, but the swap, the sweep, the tokens. Like, what the heck? Is anyone else doing this much utility? I mean,
No, I think
I don't
different
think so.
projects. Yeah, different projects have like different pieces. I think, or like a little bit of utility here or there, and we've certainly, we've kind of seen other projects. I'll say mimic. I wouldn't say copy because copy would be kind of an exact replication of what we're doing, but mimic some of the things. I mean, I think from a staking side, I mean, I think that's almost a must have for any new project that's coming out for the most part. The token side, that's going to exist for almost anything. And then just from a tools perspective, I mean, there's some pretty sweet ass tools out there from other projects. Like, I'm not going to say that we're the only ones with utility. There's certainly other projects out there with great utility. But
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Like
I mean,
Dappies are doing some pretty cool stuff. But what would
yeah,
be cool, I think, in the future? I don't know if you guys are talking to any ETH projects, but like ETH talking to Solana projects would be pretty cool, right? Like if we could
yeah,
talk to anybody on the ETH side and be like, hey, maybe we could do something together,
sure,
because the Foxes, the PFPs alone are just dope. But like, um, I think there's something there from even the artwork side, like Papa
sure.
Fox.
Yeah, and even in our dens, I mean, the fact that you can showcase your ETH NFTs, you know what I mean. So for any ETH DAO or treasury that's out there, if they're interested in showcasing, what they have in their DAO or treasury, and I'm sure there probably are other projects that exist out there that have a similar utility, but this at least crosses that bridge from the Solana to ETH side, and it's publicly available. You just throw in, if you want, buy a short URL for Foxy, throw it in a Twitter or a link tree or wherever, and people can go in, and when I wouldn't say if, I'll say when, ETH projects expand into Solana, I think that most likely will, one way or another. You'll be able to kind of get the best of both worlds.
I agree, and I think like I can see it right now in my mind, like where you've got like Robotos, Foxes, or Robotos and Toy Boogers, or the cats. Like just Solana talking to ETH. Like it seems to be very siloed right now. Like ETH talks to ETH, Solana talks to Solana. Like why not expand the community?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what Foxes are about. We're about our community. We're about the utility side. We're about, I mean, like that's our bread and butter, really. At the end of the day, I mean, our project wouldn't exist without a community. I think that goes without say for really any NFT project. And I think our NFT side of things, our community is fantastic and probably one of the best in Solana, if not the best. So
Oh, it's the best. It's
yeah.
the best. I mean, and since I'm not on team, I can say that. So I'm not a co-founder.
Hey, I'll be on the team and still say it. My objective is to throw shade at any other projects. I'm obviously
No. Like
biased, but
I'm
yeah,
in tons of other projects. It's
yeah,
just I tend to hang out in the alpha channel on the Foxes more than any other Discord channel. But that's just me.
yeah, yeah, certainly.
It's been fun, man.
No, it's
Fox is
been
cool.
great. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a pretty good spot to end it on. If you guys want, to give like a last thought, and I'll kind of close this out here, just at about the hour and a half mark. I think that'll be a pretty good time for us to wrap things up. So I guess I can start off with James. If you want to throw anything out there as a last minute comment.
Yeah, last minute comment for me is that like if any of you guys want a mini Fox, I just like to draw them on the regular. I don't really care about getting tipped anything. I don't care about that. I just want to like vibes and love, and like I like to take your regular Fox and turn it into a mini. So shoot me a comment and I will turn your Fox into a mini Fox just for you to have fun with. So just let me know. That's it. That's my final thought.
You got it. And I do see that Frank had requested to speak, so I'll bring Frank up real quick too. So
I'm not going to fight you, Frank.
Hey guys, quick, yeah.
How's it going there, Frank?
Quick recap, real quick. So first off, I want to thank Drax. Thank you for creating the Foxes. I love them to death. Second is there anyone crazier? Like, is there a crazier Fox than me? My third point was Brink. When is the showdown happening? Because I've been ready.
I'm fighting Frank.
I will literally teach you
I'm
how
afraid
to
of
grow
you.
a mustache with that third eye.
I'm afraid of you. I'm gonna get this guy out of here.
Hold up, do we got a cage fight going
Yeah.
on? Is it Frank versus Brink? I'm gonna put Foxy.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
I think it's gonna happen one day. I mean, the famous Fox devs, they're out of control, so they keep bringing utility that we don't even ask for. So I'm assuming one day we'll wake up and it's just gonna happen.
Famous
Dude.
Fox fight night.
Yeah.
Famous
Like
Fox fight night.
SpongeBob,
Throw down your
and
Fox.
he's Flats the
Brink
Flounder,
versus
and he's gonna kick my
Brink versus
butt.
Frank in the MMA first NFT showdown.
Yep. And just another point, real quick. And this is my last one. I promise. My mustache does speak Italian. Thank you.
To answer your question, Frank, no, there's no other crazier fox than you.
Awesome. Well, I am glad that I hold that statue and I will hold that dearly to my heart.
That
I got
sounds
five
good.
on
Good,
Frank.
brother.
I got
Keep
5
spirit.
Foxy on Frank. Let's go. Let's bring the fight night tonight.
You don't even know what the game is yet, James.
It doesn't even matter.
Degenerate ass community.
But seriously, y'all, thank you for everything you guys do. And I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Of course, appreciate you.
You as well. Bye, guys.
All right, see ya. I'll go ahead and open up to you, Brink. What do you got?
Keep spirit. That's all I got.
Keep spirit. I'll take it. For me, I forgot to mention earlier, and I'll mention it here. We have our first game night, if you will, on Monday with another project, Knife Fork Spoon KFS. If anyone is familiar with them, the one thing that I will throw out there is that it's probably going to be tight to get into. We're doing crab games, so anyone that's interested in crab games, it's a take on Squid Games. It's free on Steam. You know, the caveat I'll say with crab games is it's most likely a lot of kids that play it, so there most likely will be inappropriate things you'll see on the game in general. However, we'll have a custom code for game night, and I believe they're requesting that the folks that are playing to join the Knife Fork Spoon Discord, and I think they'll have a dedicated either text chat channel or a voice chat channel or both for us. So I post that information out, I believe, in events. I will tag it again, most likely early Monday. I believe it's at 8 p.m. EST. Just want to give a quick shout out to them. So anyone that's interested, check us out there. And I see Cakes requested, so I'm going to bring Cakes up. And then I'll go off with my final security general ongoing for finishing out our space. So Cakes, you're up. Hi, Cakes.
First time speaking here. I want to just say good morning to all of you, and I love you all to death. This is the first NFT project I ever bought into. Never left, never leaving. I never knew I'd throw like thousands, tens of thousands of my currency here, like the Philippine peso, into a JPEG, and something I'll never let go of. But the prices, I'm not even rich, but I'm gonna throw more money into buying my Forever Fox as well. And also I wanted to say that for sure foxes deserve more attention, and that's why we definitely plan to blow up foxes this Feb. And just the leak, it's gonna be called Foxy Feb. And yeah, I hope everybody will really hype it up and we'll really get ourselves out there. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
No, I appreciate that, Cakes. We appreciate the work that you do for us, and spreading the word of foxes. You guys are killing it on the marketing side. I know the market as a whole, between cryptocurrency and NFTs can be a wild ride, to say the least. And obviously a lot of things that we're doing, we're growing as we're learning, and certainly appreciate everything that you've been doing for Foxes as well. So thanks for the kind words and the alpha leak on Foxy Feb. Looking forward to everything that we end up pushing out, in February and beyond, I'll say.
Sorry.
So,
Can I
thanks for coming up and speaking.
Can I quickly respond, guys? CakesDAO
Sure.
is not happening, but thank you.
What's that?
CakesDAO, that's not happening.
Okay,
But thanks,
CakesDAO. I'm guessing that's in chat. I had to step away from my computer
Yeah,
real quick, but that's hilarious.
It's because of Irene DAO.
That's hilarious. Maybe we'll make a Solana DAO or something that's has to do with Solana attributes, and Cake could be the owner of that.
There's only one Brink DAO to rule them all.
Maybe it can be a sub DAO for the Brink DAO. Anyway, appreciate you, Cakes, for sure. My final remarks I like to end off on from a security side of things. For anyone that's new in the space, if you're looking at mints or really anything that you want to do in general, always use a burner wallet, for some activity you're doing on a new site, if it's connecting for the first time or anything along those lines. I know for some sites or ways there might be like a little pop-up when you go to accept the connection that it might say something to the tune of that it has the possibility of draining your wallet, but that's not entirely true all the time. So it's very quick to set up a new burner wallet. It's very cheap to fund it with Solana. So just err on the side of caution when you are interacting with things within the space. Since it's a low cost barrier to entry, there's always a chance for some form of nefarious activity or bad actors out there. So just be careful, and protect what you have. Create separate wallets. It's just for the added few seconds, and I'll call it 50 cents at most. It's worth your time to go and do that. And then as a caveat, like Brink had mentioned earlier, DevNet, if anyone approaches you to do an over-the-counter trade or OTC trade via DevNet, it's complete nonsense, and don't do it. If you want to be creative like Brink and mint, a different version of your NFT that you can be very creative with and drop it to them and string them along, more than welcome to do that. Feel free to send it in Fox Chat or wherever you want to, the Federation, just to kind of shame people. It's always good. And also, especially if there's someone in the Fox community, make sure you let, one of the moderators know, or myself, feel free to DM me or ping it into the scam chat section as well, just so others are aware. I think communication is very important, from a community that's our size. And at the end of the day, we don't want activity like that to kind of take place and impact Foxes. So with that, I will give everyone the rest of their night and weekend back. And hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you next week and look forward to pushing out some more stuff to you. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.